Dear students, in today's session, we are going to discuss the next topic, that is the right form of the verb. Generally, we call the topic as active voice and passive voice. It's a passive form of the verb or it is passive voice. Don't get confused with the topic, right? It will not be passive voice, will not be there. So the question will be asked as the right form of the verb. Right, it will be like this. So passive voice will not be there. The question will be right form of the verb. Once again, it's me, Muhammad Fasiullah Khatib from KLU College, Nagarbavi, Bangalore. Right. So how will the question? The question will be fill in the blanks using the right form of the verb given in the bracket. Passive form, passive voice will not be given. Right, it will not give it as passive voice, but it will be given as right form of the verb, that means passive voice. Let us see here. Right. See, question will be like this. Let me give you the hint. I do not want to explain the entire concept of active voice and passive voice because I will give you only the hint. The first thing is that you have to use only two words. That is, use either was or were. Was or were. You have to see the subject. Right. Once a murder, you have to see the subject. That is a murder. Once a murder. Is it was or were? Since it is singular, the answer will be murder was. You write down was, and then commit, you add ed. So your answer will be once a murder was committed. Next, they. See here, they is plural. Okay. So for plural, you use were. Right? Murder, it's a singular. So for singular we use was, and for plural we use were. Okay. Then forced is there, so you add this ed. So they were forced. This is the answer. And then once again, see here, criminal. Criminal is the subject and it is singular. So as I said, for singular you have to use was. Right, the criminal was. Punish is the word, you add ed, so your answer is the criminal was punished. That's all. If it is singular, if the subject is singular, use was. If subject is plural, then use were. They were. And then a murder was. Committed, add ed. Forced. Then criminal was, and then use ed, that is punished. That's all the hint what I have explained. So we will go for the examples next. The prince agreed to show mercy so that the matter dash. So add the matter is singular, so that the matter was arranged. So the matter was arranged. 3 marks. Very easily you can get here in this question. The person who is singular, use was, and then sentence is there. The criminal was sentenced. So then people plural. So use were, and then keep your change. You cannot add ed here. Right? You cannot add ed. The verb 3 form is people were kept. Right? Don't add ed here. People were kept. Keep becomes kept. The next question. The kingdom neither had a great king nor an executioner, therefore a council. Council is singular, so use was, and then call, you as ed, the council was called. Then it is singular, again was, and then decided. It was decided. Write the letter to the French government. The letter is singular, so use was. And once again, send, you cannot use sended. Right? Sended is wrong. It was sent. The right answer is the letter was sent. Hope it's clear and you are following. Next. Sorry. The next example. A murder was committed in Monaco and the ministers is plural, so we use verb, right? Verb, and then summoned he has already given, so you can use it as summoned. Next, and it is singular, it is was, and then decided, and then a guard is singular, use was, and then it is placed. The guard was placed. Next, cycles became most popular means of transport in Kolkata. Women see cycling to their workplace. Their dependence was reduced. Women were seeing. Women saw, you can use, but it is not passivized here. It will be activized. There is problem in the question. Then here you can say the dependence was here dependence of men. Dependence is the subject here. Men is not the subject, but dependence is the subject. So the dependence was, and then you add reduced. Ed. Dependence was reduced. And all women's cycle rally. Then see here, rally is singular, you add was, and then D here, it was reduced. 3 marks, very easily you get 3 marks here. Next, the general, B form, sometimes they will give you the B. B, if generally it will not be given. If they give as B, don't write being, and all that. B means here, the auxiliaries, either you have to use am, is, am, are, was, were. Right. You can B form of verbs you have to write. So here you have to use this one. The general was. B is was, and then as usual add ed was called. The general was called, and the king asked if they dash, if they could. Here it's not passivized, but if they could find and deliver. So none of the soldiers knew how to do it, so it was not the thing that they have doubt. Right here, the number of motor vehicles, it's B is given here, you have to use had here, don't use was for this one. So then grow, you cannot use ed here, it is wrong, you have to use grown. It had grown. And then cars, as usual, for here cars use were, and then distribute, the cars were distributed. And then pedestrian life, right, life, here you can use had, and then become remains become, don't add ed, had become. Next, repair work, and the road was surfaced, right, the road was resurfaced. Then drivers, plural, add were, and then ed, and then the work, singular, was expected, the traffic was diverted. That's all. Use add was or were and plus ed. The house, singular, was pristine. Then the good fortune was no becomes known. Fortune was known. The countless goats were slaughtered. Right. Then a fence, it is was, and then not builded. Don't write builded here. Builded is wrong. Built. Was built. And then both of them dash by. Both of them, plural is there, were encouraged. Then Tamanna is singular, was advised. Right, I hope you are following. orally. I will keep on telling you the answers. Keep following. While I dash, while I worked, it is ed, not passive form. So I was assigned to the guest and then to monitor the inmate and the visitors. A call here received is there to add was and then received. Was received it is, and then I will the call was, and here is not mean, it is meant, right? It is meant. The house, Clara's house was hidden among them. Gonzalo was brought up. For bring, you have to write bring, brought. Was brought up in Valencia. So he dashed. So he was retained. He retained the sweet note. You cannot use make it here. So he retained. You can use. It's not passive form. It's actual. The criminal, right, was sentenced. Food was brought. Then the party was arranged. Then so he was not invited. Then there he was surprised. Next, 5 pounds. Pounds plural is there. So you add word and offered. Then roof was mesmerized. Then which was laid. L-A-I-D you have to make. It was laid. In order to promote the fine art in Mysore collection, the dash established was established, and then classes were held, and then the teaching was followed. Tamarna had prepared to buy land. 100 acres were acquired. A fence was built. Then banks were forced. Then the district was made. Personal attention was given. Okay, now let us do one thing. Right, I will just keep changing the slides. You try these answers. I will keep changing the slides. You can pause the video here and then answer these questions. Few more slides are there, so follow the slides and answer it on your own. You can pause the video and answer the questions.